Hello! Hey!
Ruinsmagus is coming to PSVR2 and it's called the Complete Edition. It's also available now on Quest, Steam and Pico, and even though the Complete Edition features all the DLC from the other platforms, I can't really find any info on what that actual DLC is. The game appears to be, at least to me, exactly the same on every platform I've played it on, but with it coming to PSVR2 we now have headset haptics, along with some other features which make it quite nice. And I've been playing it all morning to give you my thoughts on what kind of game this is and if you should consider picking this up. Ruinsmagus sees you as a member of the renowned Ruinsmagus Guild. You start as a rookie with a companion who can get a little bit annoying at times, and she's to help you through the dungeons, which are essentially 25 quests in total. Most of them end in boss fights, and these are pretty tough later on. As you advance to Expert Magus, you unlock all different kinds of spells and powers to defeat guardians protecting the ruins, and you can also enhance your gear along your journey. Now, regardless of how the game sells itself, it even mentions puzzles, it's ultimately a magic-based shooter. You can use magic swords, but these are temporary, and throughout the game you'll mostly be using your gauntlet and your shield. The gauntlet is basically a wrist-mounted hand cannon, which you have to reload, and it has infinite ammo. You earn OD, which is used to level your gauntlet, and this takes ages, meaning sometimes having to go back to previous missions to earn more OD to beat the bigger bosses you encounter as you go on. It's a pretty fast-paced attack and defend FPS. You use your shield to counter attacks by timing your parries, which deflect the attacks back on the enemy, and it's pretty cool. You also have a dash ability you need to use to avoid enemy magic attacks. You also get a variety of shields, and these all have different stats that will affect your gameplay. Some spells need to be charged, and for example, one of the spells, the longer you charge it, increases the area of damage, but this also puts you at risk of being hurt. There's also another spell where you can spawn ice turrets, for example. The graphics are really nice and have a very cool anime look, but this does come with some corny dialogue. If any of you have watched any animes that have been translated into English, you'll know exactly what I mean, but I kind of find this adds to the feeling you're playing an anime game. Now onto the dungeons themselves. Personally, these kind of remind me of Zelda dungeons, with massive swinging axes to dodge, floor spikes to avoid, and you have to shoot crystals to open doors. And these also change in theme the deeper you go, but ultimately it's all made out of squares, and the enemies become more varied too the deeper you go into the ruins. You'll come across spider-like creatures, some big boulder dudes who attack and then spend a long time defending, flying drones, and these normally come in like a mixture. There's also dogs, so what happens is sometimes you have to prioritize what enemies you're going to get rid of first. And then you also have rogue magus wizards who you have to fight throughout the story to bring them to justice. The story is told through tons of scripted scenes, and unfortunately these are broken up by far too many fade to black loading screens. They aren't that long, but after a while you simply wish the game would just stop using them every single time something else happens, regardless of how significant it is. Now bear in mind, the fade to black loading screens really only happen outside of the dungeons, but while outside of the dungeons you need to visit a shop to buy materials, there's a town for you to explore where you can customise your partner's outfit, or simply sit back and read some stuff and have a drink. The characters, I would say, are mostly interesting, and the combat, as I stated, is always full on. You have to strategize your loadouts to help you deal with different attacks, and I love the scale of the bosses too. Some are absolutely huge and they look really cool in VR. Now in terms of what else the PSVR2 version offers over other platforms, for those of you who may be thinking about buying this again for some reason, it pretty much looks and plays the same. And for me at least, I can see very little reason for anyone to want to repurchase this game. So the Complete Edition doesn't mean you get more or less than any other platform. However, inside the headset, the deeper blacks and the colours are very, very nice. Ultimately, if you're looking for an anime style fast-paced FPS dungeon crawler with nice music, tons of upgrade options and leveling to do with items and potions to use during the battles, this is actually pretty cool. It's not the best game in the library, and it definitely won't be Game of the Year, but it definitely has its own charm, and it has kept me interested in the time I played with it, and it's left me wanting to play more. If you played Ruinsmagus, please feel free to let others know your thoughts down in the comments below for other potential buyers. Please remember to leave a like and subscribe for more VR content, and I'll see you all on the next video.